What really happened just hours before the Tampa concert? And why was Jungkook suddenly missing when the rest of BTS arrived in America? Fans thought this reunion would be perfect, but something unexpected changed everything, leaving Kim Taehyung visibly shocked and ARMY completely hysterical. The moment the first clips of BTS members landing in the United States began circulating online, the energy across social media shifted instantly. Airports turned into emotional stages, flashes of cameras lit up every second, and fans who had waited months, some even years, finally saw glimpses of their idols stepping onto American soil again. It was supposed to be a celebration, a long-awaited reunion moment tied to the Tampa concert that had already been building anticipation worldwide. But amid the excitement, something felt off. One face was missing. One name dominated every trending topic: Jungkook. From the very beginning, the absence of Jungkook didn't go unnoticed. Fans scanned every frame, every airport video, every live stream. Taehyung was there. Other members were spotted. Smiles, waves, subtle interactions. It all felt warm and familiar. But Jungkook? Nowhere. And that's when the whispers started. At first, many believed it was just a timing issue. Maybe Jungkook was arriving separately. Maybe he had a different schedule. But then came the second wave of information, rumors, insider posts, and fan theories that began piecing together a much more dramatic story. According to several circulating reports, Jungkook had done something completely unexpected just before the Tampa concert preparations began. Something that not only delayed his arrival but possibly changed the entire dynamic of the reunion. Meanwhile, Taehyung's reactions became a focal point. In videos captured by fans at the airport, Taehyung appeared calm but observant. There were moments when he looked around, as if searching for someone. Moments where his smile faded just slightly before returning again. It wasn't dramatic, but for fans who know Taehyung's expressions deeply, it was enough to raise questions. Was he expecting Jungkook to be there? Did he already know something the public didn't? As hours passed, the situation intensified. Social media platforms exploded with hashtags. "Where is Jungkook?" became a global question. Fans weren't just curious, they were emotional. For many, this reunion symbolized more than just a concert. It was a sign of continuity, of unity, of BTS moving forward together again. And Jungkook's absence felt like a disruption to that narrative. Then came the turning point. Reports began suggesting that Jungkook had made a last-minute decision prior to the Tampa event, one that caught even those close to him off guard. While no official statement was released immediately, fan accounts and unofficial sources claimed that Jungkook had stayed behind temporarily due to an undisclosed situation. Some speculated it was related to personal matters. Others believed it might be tied to professional commitments that couldn't be postponed. And of course, the more dramatic theories began to surface. Creative, emotional, and sometimes wildly exaggerated, as is often the case within passionate fandoms. But what truly sent fans into a frenzy wasn't just the absence, it was the mystery. Jungkook is known for his dedication, his consistency, and his strong connection to both his members and fans. For him to miss such a significant moment, even temporarily, felt unusual. And that's why every small detail became amplified. Back in Tampa, preparations continued. The stage was being set. The atmosphere was electric. Fans gathered, some holding banners, others chanting names, hoping, perhaps irrationally, that Jungkook would suddenly appear at the last moment. The idea of a dramatic entrance, a surprise reveal, began to take shape in fans' imaginations. Could this all be part of something bigger? Taehyung, meanwhile, remained in the spotlight. His interactions during this period carried a different weight. Every gesture, every glance, every subtle expression was analyzed. During one particular moment captured on video, Taehyung paused while greeting fans, his expression shifting briefly into something more serious before he smiled again. That single clip spread like wildfire. Fans interpreted it in countless ways: concern, confusion, even quiet support for Jungkook. The emotional connection between Jungkook and Taehyung has always been a major focus for fans, and this situation only intensified that narrative. Their bond, often described as deep and unspoken, became the lens through which many interpreted the unfolding events. If Jungkook wasn't there, how did Taehyung feel? What was happening behind the scenes? As the day progressed, more information trickled in, but nothing concrete enough to fully explain the situation. Media outlets began picking up the story, framing it as a developing mystery. Headlines highlighted Jungkook's absence, Taehyung's reaction, and the overwhelming response from fans. The story was no longer just about a concert. It had become a global moment of intrigue. And then came the emotional wave. Fans began sharing messages of support rather than just speculation. "Take your time, Jungkook. We'll wait for you. BTS is 7 no matter what." These messages flooded timelines, transforming the narrative from confusion to solidarity. It was a reminder of the powerful bond between BTS and their fans, a relationship built not just on performances, but on trust and emotional connection. Still, the question remained: what exactly did Jungkook do before the Tampa concert that caused such a disruption? Some insiders hinted that it was a decision driven by responsibility rather than avoidance. Others suggested it might even lead to a bigger reveal in the coming days. And that possibility kept fans watching, waiting, analyzing every update with intense focus. As night approached and the Tampa concert drew closer, the tension reached its peak. Would Jungkook appear? Would there be an official explanation? Would Taehyung address it in any way? The stage lights turned on. The music began. The crowd roared. But the mystery lingered. And perhaps that's what made this moment unforgettable. Not just the performance, not just the reunion, but the uncertainty, the emotion, the shared experience of millions of fans trying to understand a story still unfolding in real time. Because in the world of BTS, nothing is ever just simple. Every moment carries meaning. Every action sparks connection. And every unanswered question becomes part of a larger narrative that fans across the globe follow with passion. So now the spotlight turns to you. What do you think really happened to Jungkook before the Tampa concert? Was it something personal, something strategic, or something much bigger than we realize? And how do you think Taehyung truly felt in that moment when Jungkook wasn't by his side? Let's talk about it. The night in Tampa didn't just feel like another concert night. It felt like a turning point, a moment where anticipation and uncertainty collided under the same spotlight. And as the crowd continued to chant, as thousands of voices echoed through the venue, one name rose above all others: Jungkook. From backstage whispers to fan-recorded clips, the energy was impossible to ignore. Kim Taehyung stepped onto the stage with the same charisma, the same magnetic presence that fans have loved for years. But there was something different in his eyes. Not sadness exactly, not confusion either, but something deeper. A quiet awareness, as if he understood the weight of the moment more than anyone else. Because this wasn't just about performing anymore. This was about absence. As the music filled the stadium, Taehyung moved gracefully across the stage, interacting with fans, smiling, waving, even laughing at certain moments. But every now and then, just for a split second, his gaze drifted to the side of the stage. It was subtle, almost unnoticeable, but ARMY noticed everything. And those tiny moments became the center of discussion almost instantly online. Is he looking for Jungkook? Did something happen between them? Why does this feel so emotional? The questions kept coming, faster and louder. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, something else was unfolding. Reports, unconfirmed but persistent, suggested that Jungkook had been seen hours earlier in a completely different setting than expected. Not at the airport, not on a private flight, but reportedly still dealing with something unresolved before joining the group. The lack of clarity only made things more intense. Some fans began connecting dots from previous days. Jungkook's recent silence on social media, a cancelled appearance that, at the time, didn't seem significant. A short, cryptic message that now felt loaded with meaning. When viewed individually, these details meant little. But together, they started to paint a picture. One that felt incomplete, but undeniably real. And then, something happened that no one expected. Midway through the concert, during a quieter segment where the energy shifted from explosive to intimate, Taehyung paused. The music softened. The lights dimmed slightly. And for a brief moment, it felt like time itself slowed down. He looked out into the crowd, thousands of glowing lights reflecting in his eyes. And then he spoke. Not directly about Jungkook. Not explicitly, but enough. His words were simple, yet they carried weight. He talked about distance, about moments when not everyone can be together, about trust. Trust that even when someone isn't physically present, they're still part of the same story, the same journey. And that was it. No names, no explanations. But fans understood. Within seconds, clips of that moment spread across every platform. Translations appeared instantly. Emotional reactions followed. Some fans cried. Others felt reassured. And many became even more curious. Was Taehyung indirectly addressing Jungkook's absence? Was this his way of calming fans without revealing too much? Or was it simply a reflection of something deeper happening behind the scenes? As the concert continued, the atmosphere shifted again, this time into something more unified. The chants grew louder, stronger, more emotional. BTS, BTS, BTS echoed through the stadium, not as a demand, but as a declaration. A reminder that no matter what, the bond remained unbroken. But the mystery wasn't over. Back online, new footage began to circulate. Grainy at first, then clearer. A supposed sighting of Jungkook, not in Tampa, but somewhere else entirely. The clip showed a figure resembling him, dressed casually, moving quickly, seemingly avoiding attention. The timestamp? Just hours before the concert began. The internet exploded. Is that really Jungkook? Why isn't he with the group? What is he doing? Speculation reached its peak. Theories became more detailed, more dramatic. Some believed Jungkook was preparing something special, perhaps a surprise appearance that would shock everyone. Others worried that something serious had happened, something that couldn't be publicly disclosed yet. But through all the noise, one thing remained constant: the connection between Jungkook and Taehyung. Fans revisited old moments, past interviews, shared glances, inside jokes, the way they supported each other on stage and off. It became clear that whatever was happening now, it wasn't something that would break that bond easily. And maybe that's why Taehyung's words earlier felt so powerful. Because sometimes, the strongest connections don't need to be explained. As the concert reached its final stages, the energy became almost overwhelming. Fireworks lit up the sky. Music surged through the speakers. Fans screamed, sang, cried. It was everything a BTS concert should be. And yet, the absence still lingered like a quiet echo in the background. Then came the final moment. The members stood together on stage, waving, bowing, thanking the fans. Taehyung stood among them, smiling, but once again, his eyes briefly scanned the side of the stage. And just like that, the night ended. No surprise appearance. No official explanation. Just questions. But sometimes, questions are what keep a story alive. Because now, the world is watching more closely than ever. Waiting for the next update, the next appearance, the next clue that might finally explain what really happened before the Tampa concert. And at the center of it all are two names that continue to define this story, Jungkook and Taehyung. So, what comes next? Will Jungkook finally break his silence? Will Taehyung reveal more in the coming days? Or is this just the beginning of something much bigger than anyone expected? Stay close because this story isn't over yet.